speaking with Dr. Winfred Frazier on a topic at the top of almost every newscast these days: opioid overdoses and the addiction epidemic in this country. Very basic question: how did we get here? Why has this become such a huge problem?
That's a very good question, and thank you for talking to me to discuss this huge issue. The reason why it's a huge issue is because, number one, we had research about 20, 30 years ago saying that these opioid medications did not lead to addiction, so people thought that they were safe. And so since they were safe, doctors prescribed them, and patients kept taking them. And then we learned later on that they are addicting, and that's when the problem snowballed and got worse and worse over time.
But how has it gotten from somebody prescribing it to, like in that video we saw, a middle-aged woman who's had surgery and has a terrible pain problem, to hundreds of thousands of kids out on the street?
I mean, just like any other medication, once it starts in one population, once it becomes an addiction, it spreads. And for instance, with these opioids, they're very addicting, and unfortunately, people can get into other people's pills, people can take them on accident, and they can become addicted. So that's how it can spread to the general population.
I see. Have you encountered addiction in your own patients?
Unfortunately, it's a huge issue in my patients. It's a huge issue in most doctors' patient practices. I just saw one patient that I saw about a few weeks ago, and who just had depression. That's pretty much all we talked about through the visit. And then I saw her picture in obituary about a month later and found out that she had died of an overdose. I had no idea. So this affects us every day, unfortunately.
Did you ask her about drugs that she was taking?
I asked her about recreational drugs like marijuana. I asked her about smoking. I did not specifically ask about opioids, and she didn't specifically tell me. And I think part of the other issue is that there's a big stigma. A lot of patients don't want to tell physicians because they don't want to be labeled as a drug addict. I just saw something on TV that said that, patients didn't want to be labeled drug addicts, and I completely understand. And so I think we have to learn from this experience that we need to ask these questions to most of our patients to get an idea, because a lot of the times patients are afraid to tell us.
So what is the most important thing you want everyone who sees this broadcast to remember?
I want everyone who's watching this broadcast to remember that there are resources for people who are suffering from addiction, not just themselves, but families, friends, coworkers. There's tons of resources out there, not only physicians, social work, there's people out in the community that are helping people deal with this issue.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.